Hi, I'm Polly from SNAP123 and I'm here to show you some easy tips on ways to help your child learn sight words in the simple kitchen area of your home rather than having to sit down in a special desk environment with them. We're all busy mums, we've all got lots to do, and here are some simple ways for you to give them that little boost they need to learn those words. Usually the first words that children are given in kindergarten to learn are the 100 most frequently used words, and these are words like to, and, if, but, when, and so on. The trouble with these words are that they are not nouns. They don't have a picture that represents them, so they are actually words that don't have an actual meaning. So they are actually the hardest words for the children to learn, and they're the first ones given to them. However, one way you can check to see if they do know these words, rather than being able to say them expressively, is to see if they know them receptively. And an easy way to do this is to use your whiteboard that you have in the kitchen. If you don't have a whiteboard, you could have a bit of paper on the fridge with a magnet, or buy a really cheap whiteboard at Kmart or Woolies. They've got magnetic ones that stick on your fridge, and you can write some of those 100 words that are presented to your child as sight words. Just write a few up on the board. To, and, if, but, when. And during the course of your cooking or whatever you're doing in the kitchen, you can just casually say to the child, oh, can you go and put a circle around the word if? And so the child comes up and looks at the words. If five words is too many for the child, make it 2 words, make it so the child can be successful. But they're presented with these words, and if they don't actually know the word expressively to tell you what the word is, what they can do is draw on these skills to be able to show that they know it receptively. And one of the ways for them to do this is to look at the first sound or letter in each word. So they look at the t and think, no, that's not right. The a, no, that's not right. I, oh yes, I in if, and they put a circle around that word. And then you go on to other words and do the same thing. And what this shows you is that they may be able to identify part of the word receptively or the whole word receptively. You can make it more tricky by putting two words that have the same letter. So to and this, and see if they are realising that to is a short word or this is a longer one and it ends in s. And this can all be done using a whiteboard in the kitchen while you're actually doing something else, because we don't all have time to sit down and spend half an hour tutoring our children in sight words. Another really good tip to help your children learn sight words is to move away from the 100 most frequently used sight words and move to nouns. Nouns will appear in the readers that they use in class frequently, and plus the other benefit of having nouns is that they are words that have pictures that go with them. So the child is able to help the pictures commit the actual sight word to memory. So a simple thing you could do is have little picture words. You can buy sets of these in many shops, Kmart, Big W, news agencies for $3 or $4, and they have the sight word on the back. But use just the picture card on the front, and you could write the sight words up here and ask the child then to draw a squiggly line from the sight word to the picture. And once again, they're drawing on their receptive language to think about what helps create that word. So if you say, can you draw a line from pig, the word pig, to the picture pig, straight away they're listening to the first sound, which is p. So they come along and they have a look. And so it tells you, if they do this, it shows you that yes, at least they know the first sound is p. That's great. If they do that, it shows you they might be confusing p and d, which is actually quite normal until they're in year 1. So once again, using nouns instead of the 100 most frequently used words can be another way to boost their recognition of sight words. And that's often a way I use with children who are struggling with reading, and they gain such confidence by learning nouns as sight words. And then it helps the other 100 most frequent words fall into place because they already have a bank of sight words that they know, and they gain a lot of confidence. The last tip that I'd just like to share with you to do with teaching sight words and sounds in words is just to have basically a little list in your kitchen So it could be written on a piece of paper on the fridge or just on the side of a whiteboard. And what in the course of your normal day-to-day functioning of your family, when you run out of goods, you ask your child, could you please go and add that to the list? So if you run out of salt, you say, could you go and write salt on the list for me, please, sweetie? They go over to the list and they might turn around and say, oh, but I don't know how to write salt. And you go, well, what can you hear? Salt. And they might put down the s, which is great. They may not put anything else. That's okay. Later on you can come along and add that along to them and say, oh, good job, you put this, and this is the rest of the word. Or they might, for a different word, just say it's fish. Can you go and add fish to the list? They might hear f and sh. So their spelling of fish might look something like this. Once again, it's fantastic. What this is doing is showing them a purpose for writing. So if they're a reluctant writer or they're not feeling very confident with their skills in this whole area of learning literacy, this gives them a functional way to help out in the house, and it's a real way, and it's helping mum and dad create their shopping list. And you take this list, you can't take the whiteboard, but you take a bit of paper with their writing on it to the shops, and they see that that is in fact a functional use of writing, and it just gives them a little boost. It's just another way, another subtle way to provide them with input into their literacy skills without putting a lot of pressure on them. So hopefully some of those tips are things you can use in your kitchen. Okay, thanks.